Hello and welcome to a review of a LEGO Alpha Team set. This is a Mission Deep Freeze, which was the 2004 reboot of Alpha Team. Um, yeah, this is one of the sets, the second smallest, I believe, of the main ones. It's called something like the Ice Blade. And I don't know, Mission Deep Freeze is kind of interesting because Alpha Team, the original, is kind of like this very classical action theme kind of thing. The same way like Adventures is to Indiana Jones, Alpha Team was to Mission Impossible. This like more square Lego-esque version of it. But the theme through its Deep Sea wave of 2002 basically completely evolved into a much more rounded off toyetic thing where they were using a lot of these like large curved pieces, plagued parts, if you will. And while Deep Freeze does is another rung higher in terms of like the evolutionary steps, I don't know if that means it's better or worse. It's just definitely like in that direction. Um, yeah, it has those pieces, it has that personality, but it also has hallmarks of like Lego, like a little bit later, I feel like Alpha Team was a good way to like gauge the general style of Lego at the time. And if we look at this is really interesting, but also kind of a mess in so many ways. It's honestly just really interesting to look at because it's kind of hard to tell what it is, what is what, There's a lot of things that kind of don't go together, and that makes it interesting in some ways, but you could also argue that it's kind of a poor design in others. But these compromises have a purpose. First, I'm going to look at the minifigure because he's one of my favorite parts of the set. He's just very simple but well executed. This one's in very new condition. His joints are stiff and such. He has this wonderfully expressive face print. Of course, I do love the original Alpha Team faces, but these figures were also very good. I'm not a huge fan of the Deep Sea ones, but these ones have like very clear, graphic design on the printing. They've got good faces. Leg printing is awesome to see. That was a trend that started in Mission Deep Sea, continues here, but with the more updated style, these feel very complete. He goes into this cockpit, which I guess we can look at. It has this stickered piece, I believe. Is it a sticker or is it a print? I actually can't tell. I think it's a print, but don't quote me on that. We got a little bit of red in there, which I guess this is accent color, which is, I'm sorry, you can't really see that. The Alpha Team series is kind of known for having a bunch of characters. They all have different colors, and those colors are accented in their vehicles a little bit. He goes in there, and this is a extremely unique looking cockpit piece. I don't really know how I don't really know how I feel about it. I don't think it's an amazing piece in of itself. It seems extremely limited. Like, not only is it like this very square fixture that's made to basically only look good with this piece, but also it has this very specific lid that goes down into it that has a bunch of printing on it. And I do appreciate the printing. I think it's cool and actually works with a play feature in this set that I did not plan on covering, so I'm actually missing the piece, which is kind of unfortunate. But like, obviously this isn't a good piece, but I think it's so cool that it's included because it's so unique. This instantly makes you know what sub-theme this is, what theme it is, the exact time and place, the gimmick, everything associated with it. It's all built into this one piece. And while that's not ideal, I do think it's really interesting, and I do love when pieces have so much character. They put so much character into a build, and this kind of, it does sort of dominate the way you look at this, but I think it's just so cool. And look at that, you got some dithering there. Lego really loved dithering around this time. They do it in a lot of their print work. And this is a red, translucent red sort of thing. The idea is that you have a blue and red picture that you can look at, or a globe, and depending on the color of the thing, it reveals different information. So that's what this is for. It's a cool little gimmick, and I think it's really awesome that it's built into this machine sort of inherently. Like, that's such a cool feature, I know they also made red magnifying glasses, but I guess other things about the set, the Bionicle piece usage. The ski, it's cool. This thing, I don't know, it's very clearly like a Bionicle weird chainsaw piece. you know, it's cool, it's fine or whatever, but it kind of doesn't fit, especially considering that these Bionicle pieces are the only light gray, light bluish gray pieces in the whole model, because for some reason they decided to include white pieces. I thought this was an error that the used set, like they just included substitute pieces or something. But no, it actually has this white, and I guess it's supposed to represent snow or something, but I don't know, it's like it feels too blocky to be like actual snow, you know. It's not in places where snow would always be, and it's like, okay, sure. And yeah, these sets also pioneered the dark blue color. That was from Mission Deep Sea, also had a lot of that. But, you know, sand blue is also added to the mix, which is a lovely color. And this is a good place to get sand blue. I'm glad sand blue is kept alive. It could have definitely died at this point. So you can almost thank this theme for saving it for a little bit there. As you can see by my fidgeting, this set has one feature that's pretty cool. And that is, like all the other deep freeze sets, it has a transformation. Where I believe if you go like this, yeah, bubba-da-boo, you swivel this around, you bring this up, it can even click into place, and then you put this down, you can click that into place, and you've got a helicopter. Now that is really inventive. I think that is super cool, like great play feature, especially in a small set. The set really does become a completely different thing, you know, very different looking, you know. I mean, I don't know what shape I like better, you know. This one's feels a bit flat, but I guess that's part of the point. Very, I don't know, very kind of silly looking. Reminds me of like the World City sets where everything just feels like it was run over by a steamroller, but kind of in a cool way. I will say it's kind of ugly. Like, I don't know, it's still sort of an ugly set. You can't really escape that with this. I mean, of course everything's subjective, but I don't know, man, it's kind of hideous. Like, I love eclectic blends of just random stuff, but it just doesn't come together, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about the set. It's an interesting one for what it is. Mission Deep Sea, or Deep Freeze, the later Alpha Team stuff is not my favorite, but, you know, it's part of LEGO history, and I feel like having a set just to try it out, just to see what's going on there, you know, investigate, you know, every era of LEGO that I'm interested in, you know, throughout the 2000s, 2010s, just to get a taste of what it was like. You know, this is a very LEGO-y action theme in terms of stuff. It's not like, you know, civilian, it's not basic, it's not brick built. This is like a LEGO action theme from 2004. And that was, you know, 2004, 2007. Like, it feels like there's not that much stuff around that era, because they were not doing well financially. They were trying to change their focus on things. So, like, a lot of these themes, like Knight's Kingdom, just kind of got forgotten, and either that or they're obscenely expensive and stuff, like, you know, Dino Attack and the original Batman run and stuff like that. So getting, you know, to handle these sets and just trying it out, it gets you a taste of something that's a little rare, even if, you know, it's not my favorite. That's all there really is to say. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.